Okay, this is Steve, aka Paul Marks, back with you for video number 5. And this is actually a couple of acronyms or something akin to an acronym because it has numbers in it too, which is sometimes that I do those, but those are a little bit more unusual than the acronyms that are just letters. We call it 9 feet, and 10 feet. Just because they're FT, makes it easy to remember. 9 feet, 10 feet. 9 feet is 9-figure Twitter follower tribe. So these are both related to Twitter. And then 10-figure Twitter follower tribe. And they simply mean 100 million followers in the tribe and a billion followers in the tribe. And 100 million is about a third of how many accounts there are on Twitter. Last I checked, it might be more accounts than that. But it's a lot, a big chunk, a third or something like that. And then 10 feet is actually double or triple the total number of followers on Twitter. And that begs the question, how could you have more followers than you have accounts on Twitter? Well, if you have a tribe with hundreds or 1,000 or 5,000 members, and a whole bunch of them have a lot of people following a whole bunch of the accounts, then you're going to have duplicates. And that's part of what's going on with the Twitter sphere. If you have lots of accounts, you're going to have people following lots of the accounts, not just one account per one account on Twitter. So this is done through tools and through periods of time that most people are unwilling to spend. I've been working on Twitter. I'm in my 6th year for many of my accounts, and a lot of people haven't been around Twitter that long. Some of us have. And it's also done with tools that happen or work on things on a daily basis. Not, well, this one day of next month I did some work on Twitter. No, every day you do work on Twitter. You don't take a day off. And I've had years where I didn't take a single day off the whole year for a lot of the accounts that I worked on Twitter. And that's kind of unusual. Most people, they come and go from the Twitter sphere and, oh look, a year and a half went by and I didn't do anything. My Twitter account actually shrunk, which happens because people, their accounts get terminated and those are gone, and they unfollow for whatever reason because they don't understand following. Simply put, a lot of followers on Twitter is from one of two things. Either you're really famous and you just put your account out there in front of your TV series or at your concert or on your live television show, a Ellen or a Dave Letterman, and you get a bunch of followers just because you put it up there. And a good example is for the first couple of years, nobody had 1 million followers. And all of a sudden there was this contest between Ashton Kutcher and CNN Breaking News to see who could get to 1 million followers first. Ashton won, and he was the #1 person on Twitter for quite some time afterwards. Months and months he was #1 because he was the first. And so people just kind of follow the first one. Even though CNN is kind of something of a bigger entity than Ashton Kutcher, he beat them, and therefore he was more followed. I don't think they ever eclipsed his #1 lead until some other people were a lot bigger than Ashton eventually, popularity-wise, and he dropped back. But then this person, this crazy character on 2.5 Men, Charlie Sheen, somebody said, well, you should get an account, Charlie. Why don't you get an account? Oh, well, I don't know what that is. Well, get one anyway. So he got one. 24 hours later, he had 1 million followers. 24 hours. Took him 24 hours to get 1 million followers, and Twitter was bigger. And Twitter was more robust, and he also was this crazy person. Or at least at that point he was crazy. I don't think he's crazy. He just happened to, have kind of a rough patch there, and he lost his 2.5 Men thing, which is unfortunate. Ashton's filled in. It's funny there, that connection. But he got 1 million followers in something like 24 or 36 hours, and that's kind of unusual. But that's the maturity of Twitter that was able to make that happen, even though it took 2 years for the first person to get to 1 million. Kind of like it took, 1 billion years for us to get to a billion humans, and then it took 12 years for us to add 1 billion humans. Last 12 years, 1 billion humans more. First billion years took to get to 1 billion. Now, okay, so enough said on that. This is the 9 feet and the 10 feet. 10 feet's going to take probably into next year before we get there. Maybe we'll do it this year, probably not. I'm expecting we'll make it to the 100 million tribal Twitter follower mark this year, 2013, and then by 2014 we should be in the 10 feet category, and that's pretty powerful You can affect global trending hashtags and other things when you have lots of followers in a tribe like that. If everybody decides to kind of pull together, like, you know, pull as a team, pull as a tribe kind of thing.